Welcome to the live stream. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again. Yellow flags in your relationship. That's the topic today, but we always have a topic. This is your live stream. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. Just put it over here. First of all, shout out to the NTZ crew. I know you're on here. Jacob Tanjay. I don't know if Michael Beecher Life is on here yet, but I'm sure he'll be here. All my old heads, there's Roger Walker. He said, good morning, Cal and everyone. We'll have to listen on replay early to bed, okay? Take care, Roger. It's Derek Casanaras. What time it travels? He says, greetings from Baguio, Philippines, Cal. My girlfriend's uncle listens to you and said that walk was an inspiration to him. He's 60 and wants to start working out. But thank you. Tell your girlfriend's uncle that I said thank you. All he has to do is get started. You know, you're halfway finished. Any new viewers and subscribers watching for the first time, welcome. And anybody catching me on replay, thank y'all so much. That's 53 Shades Darker. I'm about to get him on here. He started his channel. What's up, Jeffrey Tatter? I love LaChine. The peso is 56.79. I told you it's staying up there around 57, and and I love it, man. Craig Anthony said, brother Cal, you look good after your walk. Yeah, I'm slowly getting back to normal, man. My feet are feeling so much better. I was walking in the sand this morning, letting that sand, that gritty sand, kind of massage my heels, and then that cold water kind of soothe them. This is officially our last day here. We'll be leaving early in the morning, headed back to Dumaguete and then San Carlos City. Remember the meet and greet, everybody. If you're anywhere around San Carlos City, come to the meet and greet. September 28th, that's Thursday, 4 p.m. at Mr. C's Outdoor, Mr. C Outdoor Restaurant. It's in Center Mall in San Carlos. They got good food. Meet some great people. Have some great conversation. I'm going to certainly be there. What's up, the poor man's passport guy? I know he's back in San Francisco. He's working out. What's up, King Arthur? He said, hello, Cal and Sunshine Crew. Hitman says, shout out. Shout out, Hitman. What's going on, Sam McCall? Thank you, brother. Bill Thomas says, hey, Sunshine, I have my plane ticket in the hotel for the month of November to Cebu. Looking forward to being there live and in person. Oh, man, you're really going to enjoy yourself. He said, as much as you love the beach, have you ever considered Bohol? I have, but it's so far away. I would have stayed here. Booby's in school. That's the defining factor. And her sister, Sophia, she's only 9. I mean, we can't be away for long periods of time. That would equal neglect. My conscience won't allow me to do it. But this place is going to be in good hands. I met the guy yesterday. He's a good guy. He was asking me the ins and outs of the place. There's nothing wrong with this place. The owner keeps it in good shape. I mean, it's going to be big for him. He's going to be by himself. Hey, Kevin Hill said, good day, Calvin, team in chat. Well, let's talk about some of this stuff. W Secret to Success said, hey, who got you fired up on that video earlier? Guys, I stay fired up. I'm passionate. I'm just tired of people telling me who to root for, who to vote for, who to pray to. I'm capable of making my own decisions. Okay? I don't follow the leader or the misleaders anymore. Y'all over there following the followers who don't even know where they're going. I'm not in that line anymore. I think for myself. And that's what's the point of my rant today. But no, I'm not nobody. I'm not mad at anybody. But I'm tired of people telling me who to root for. If I don't root for the people they root for, I'm a hater. If I don't see things the way they see it, I'm a hater. No, I'm sorry. I'm just who I am. You're not gonna shut me up. Get your own platform. You got it. Hey, Surrey K says, hope to visit my friend in Calatrava next time I'm in the Philippines. Is it possible to rent a place for just the money in San Carlos? Probably uh, Airbnb, but I'm not really sure. Okay. He said there are a bunch of lemmings in America. Yeah. Hey, Dana. He said, good morning, Cal. How you feeling? How your feet doing, man? They're doing good. I'm looking forward to finally meeting Geechee Lion on Wednesday. He'll be in San Carlos City. I want to meet him in person. He's become sort of a legend. Hey, Chocolate Man Mike from the Philippines. He says, Uncle Cal, what's going on? When you going to get in the water and snorkel or free dive? I do that all the time, really, to be honest with you. It's just that this time around, every time I'm out there, it's almost low tide, really. But yeah, I love the water. I love the beach. But let's talk about some of the uh, yellow flags in your relationship over. Just some of the things to look for. We talk about red flags. That means danger, stop. Then the green flags means to proceed, keep going, right? But yellow just means what it always means, caution. Proceed with caution. Just some little things that you may want to look for when you get over here. And the first one that I put, these aren't in any particular order. These are just things that I've noticed that should make you slow down a little bit and say, hold on, let me really see what's going on. It's when you come to visit her, she doesn't go out of her way to accommodate you. Okay. And you say, well, why is that a yellow flag? Because Filipinos are very hospitable. Under normal circumstances, she's proud that you're here. She wants to show you off. She wants to take you everywhere. But if you get over here and she's not enthusiastic, she's lukewarm about everything. She just wants to stay around the hotel and all that. That could be a yellow flag. Okay, she doesn't want to reward you for your effort because most women, they appreciate the effort that we put forth to come here. It's very expensive right now, especially very time consuming. Okay, I talk about it all the time. That airplane ride is brutal. So if you get all the way over here and she's acting all lukewarm, that's a yellow flag. And it's something you need to look for. Okay. And the second one is she acts like a stranger in her own country. She's overly shy, afraid to ask directions or where something's located. This is a yellow flag because Filipinos don't meet strangers, okay, amongst each other. There's a sense of community over here that I envy. It reminds me of when I was growing up. And what that tells you is you may want to keep her, if you bypass the yellow flag, it may be saying, hey, keep her near her family and friends. Because if she's from Bohol and you take her to Cebu, there's nothing worse than having an unhappy person around you. But if she acts like a stranger in her own country, guys, that's a yellow flag. I don't like that. I always get into it when I have to do all the exploring, all the asking all the questions. I'm the visitor. I'm the tourist. Don't be a tourist in your own country. That's a yellow flag, man. I don't want anybody overly shy because I need help over here. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I am. No time for you to be getting quiet on me. Tiago Diaz Trivago says trying to avoid being seen by people that know her. Yeah, well, that's part of it. But like I said, that's a yellow flag. There's something going on there, guys. Okay. Number three is look for this right here, because this burns me up whenever I see it. Pouting and acting spoiled. Okay, if you see that when you get over here, that's a yellow flag. That doesn't mean she's a bad person. Doesn't mean, oh, don't fool with her, go the other way. But it certainly doesn't mean keep going. It says proceed with caution. Because I'm gonna tell you, some Filipinos are tough as nails. They have to be to make it over here. They don't have time to be pouting and acting spoiled and want to be treated like a baby and all of that stuff, man. So when you see a woman around her pouting, her face is long and all of that, it's a yellow flag. Okay, it's something you need to look out for. It could be trouble if you move in together, or worse, get married. Remember, these are things that you don't know about. It's a whole different culture. These aren't just normal relationships we're dealing with. And so these things will kind of help you kind of get adjusted in your relationship. Dana Milton said yellow means to proceed with caution. Yeah, a yellow flag is that she approaches you from out of nowhere. She speaks excellent English. Now that might be a red flag. That's a red flag, Dana. That's not a yellow flag. That's a red flag, because more than likely they're not going to approach you. Okay, unless you're in, like, they may approach you at church, or if you're at a birthday party, but more than likely they're not going to approach you. Okay, here's the fourth thing I put down here: no expression or personality. Okay, very seldom laughs or gives you that authentic Filipino smile that lights up a room. That may mean she's happy. Okay, because Filipinos have personality. On my first trip here, I apologize. I went to the I went to my data. I'm Remember, I'm in Sikihor now, and I'm having a problem. But number four is no expression or personality. Very seldom laughs or gives you that authentic Filipino smile that lights up a room. It may mean she's hiding something. I was on a layoff, all right. I didn't have a whole lot of exposure to Asian people, so I didn't know a Chinese And I could immediately tell the difference between Filipinos and Koreans. Koreans were so cold and they were like statues, but Filipinos, they were full of personality, laughing, joking, singing, in uh, the area, the waiting area, before we were boarding the plane, the boarding area, it was full of Filipinos. So I immediately could tell right away. So if you come over here and you meet a woman, she has no facial expression, that same old expression, no personality. That's a yellow flag, guys. You know. And the reason I'm saying this is because we come over here and we make some real uh, rash decisions. We start having children by women immediately. We start getting married immediately. We don't look for any flags or anything that may caution us about what lays on in the future. I think it's important. Okay. But yeah, let's talk about number 5. He said maybe it's a Korean cold climate. I don't know. Um, but number 5 is, and this is just what I'm seeing, guys. Okay. If she's not a freak in bed, that's a yellow flag. Okay. Remember, she's going to reward you uh, for giving that effort to come over here. Now, if she's not a freak, meaning she's not willing to try anything new, it may take some time for you to teach her and to kind of show her what you like and what you expect. But that's a yellow flag. It says, okay, I got work to do. Okay, because a lot of times when you come over here, I'm going to give you a perfect example. My son's mother, when I met her, the next day, I mean, it was like a night of fireworks. It was like the 4th of July, right? And I was like, hey, what was that all about? And she said, well, my friend told me that whatever you want to do it. Okay. So there was no yellow flag with her. But every woman's not going to be like that. It doesn't mean throw her back. It just means caution. But if you see that over your whole 4-week period or 3-week period, or however long you over here, she's not going to try anything, then, you may want to, pause. You certainly don't want to marry her if, you know, if you're going to have trouble there. Because as much as people will try to tell you that sex isn't important in a relationship, it's very important. Okay. So, yeah, these are just some things that I was seeing. It's nothing written in stone, but these are some yellow flags that people need to look out for. And what's he talking about? Well, there's no blackout. Um, what's going on is I'm in Sikihor Island. Really, they say no man is an island, but this place is an island to itself, 72 kilometers around. You're not going to have the best connection here. It's hit and miss. And remember, I'm on a resort, so there's so many other people using the internet here too. I think it would be a lot better if I were just here using the internet by myself, but I'm not. What's going on, Frank Tate? He said, very good topic, Cal. Thank you. It's just something I want to talk about, something that may be able to help guys when they come over here, because we're jumping into relationships over here like they're going out of style. We're getting married, we're having children, we're doing things so fast. We're not even thinking about it. We don't know the ladies, and it can cause problems. Okay? It can cause a lot of problems. So I'm trying to give a little boots on the ground information. What's going on, Ken? You've been busy, man. I tried to call you when my buddy was here. You were busy. Let's see what we got. Craig Anthony says, how long do you think it will be before guys start arguing with you, Cal? I don't know. It's not going to be long. But the point is, people over there, because that's where I get my trouble from, America and Canada, which is America 2.0. They always want to tell you who to root for, how to think, what to do. Look at my comments on that uh, video I made about expats in the Philippines. What expats in the Philippines can learn from Deion Sanders? And the video wasn't even about Deion Sanders. They're taking it personal over there because I don't root for him. I root for him the way that they think I should. I'm a hater. Okay, you going to the gym? Okay. Uh, Deion Sanders is a multimillionaire. He got tons of money at Colorado. Okay. You guys over there, you're rooting for the wrong person, for the wrong people. He doesn't need your help. He doesn't need you to defend him. Okay. It's a single mother doing all she can to make ends meet, keep the lights and everything on. See, those are the people I root for. I root for some multimillionaire. And then you got all these ex-athletes and everything on the television telling you you should root for them. But what do you think they're going to say? They're all part of that same little clique. They're on television. You think they're going to say anything wrong about him? But you can't have it both ways. Either he's rebuilding or he's a phenomenon. Which one is it? You can't have it both ways. When he loses, oh, it's rebuilding. But when he's winning, oh, look, I told you, look at him. Okay. This is the stupid stuff I don't like over there. Hey, Golden Gate says, glad you're recuperating at your favorite island, a well-deserved rest. Thank you. Yeah, we move a lot too fast, way too fast. I'm sorry, over here. And of course, you know why that is. You're lonely over there. You're coming off one of those dry spells over there. You come over here. There's an attractive young lady showing all kinds of interest in you, and she's speeding you up. Okay, nothing over here happens quickly. Everything over here is very, very slow. It's very methodical. That's why a lot of people from the West can't deal with the Philippines. Everything moves. It's grinding. I mean, it's really, really slow. Red tape is just ridiculous. But you're in the Philippines. You have to learn to deal with it or leave. Basically what it is. But she speeds us up over here. And next thing you know, she's pregnant, or you're already talking marriage and you're already living in together and stuff like that. Dana said, make sure you have this conversation with Geechee. Yeah, but you know, I don't know, man. He's out there. Tom Freeman says, Cal, all the women I have dated have had have not been able to stimulate me mentally. Do you struggle not being able to have deep, thought-provoking conversations over that? I don't, because that's what the meet and greets are for. That's what being around other expats would do for you. There's never going to be deep, thought-provoking conversations. I say that all the time. Remember, these aren't normal relationships that we're dealing with, Tom. But this is a great, great point that you bring up that I try to stress all the time. Because guys will say, oh, I don't want to be around expats. I'm going to avoid them. You don't have to hang out with them. You don't have to see them every day. But every now and then, you're going to want that deep, thought-provoking conversation. It's not going to come from Maryland. It's more or less what we talk about is those 20 questions. We talk about, what we need in the household or something like that. But there's nothing thought provoking. She doesn't even know who Deion Sanders is. Or, I don't even know, believe it or not, I don't even know if she knows who Donald Trump is, to be honest with you. So no. Cedric Giles said, "Hey Cal, I was watching live when you and Steve walked the Doom Getty sign. Was Marilyn there? Yeah, she was there." He said, "I missed seeing her at the finish line." If you watch, I didn't do it long because really was nothing to show. A few guys showed up, and I'm really thankful for that. I mean, they went out of their way to show up because every last one of them, none of them lived in the Dumaguete city proper. The only person there from the city proper was a gentleman from London. He's a blogger now, and he wanted to meet me, and he's got a friend. If you watch that live, that Jelly, that young lady that stopped me on the motorcycle when I was halfway there, said she was going to college. They're friends, but everybody else, well, living abroad, he was staying there in a hotel, but everybody else came out of their way. They were either from Bacone. One guy was as far away as Cebuland. But this is the reason why I changed the focus of the walk because, as important as unity is over here among expats, people don't think it's important. But you heard Tom Freeman. He's a guy that wants to have thought-provoking conversations. So if he came to Dumaguete, all he'd have to do is go to Ground Zero. And I met a nice guy there. His name was it Robert? He was from Hawaii. He said he comes there about once or twice a month for that. Robert Whitfield says, "Hey, my brother Cal, how's your heel? I know how it feels. I used to run marathons. It's not easy. I have to train 70 miles every other week." Yes, it's a whole lot better. I mean, for the first couple of days, when everything settled down, the ibuprofen wore off, my toes felt like they were on fire. I could barely walk, man. My heels ached so bad. So the last couple of days, I just stayed in bed with my feet propped up. And if I did go out, I went out to the beach, and it feels a whole lot better. Johnny S. said, "One thing I learned years ago is that you can't please everybody." That's a fact. Hitman said, "Slow grind for sure in the Philippines. My biggest issue is learning to slow down." Yeah, and you can tell that when you see guys over here. You can tell the new guys from the old heads because the new guys, man, they're going back and forth. They're holding their head. It's just too slow. It's just too methodical. You have to stand in lines over here. That's something we don't do in America. You have to learn all that over again. And it's hard to do when you're 60, 65, 70. But you better learn how to do it over here. You're not going to get too far over here. You go to the grocery store on the weekend. That's why when I was talking to, his name is Robert. He's from Hawaii. I was talking to him in Ground Zero before I did that interview with Mark from Every Man Has Story. And he said exactly what I told you guys to do. When you got business to take care of, go early in the morning. Don't wait till the afternoon or evening. That's when everybody does their business. Don't go to the grocery store on the weekends. You're gonna stand in line. If you don't mind doing that, I mean long lines, okay? I mean really long lines where you're gonna have one cashier and she's gonna sit there and check everybody's money 2 or 3 times before she proceeds. Then sometimes she may be bagging up the groceries by herself. You better learn patience when you get here. Cedric Giles says Mr. Geechee Line should be enamored with the knowledge, armored with the knowledge of the unspoken agreement and use that knowledge accordingly. For some guys, they've been out there so long, they're suffering from chronic loneliness, and he's one of those guys. Hopefully, since he's been over here, because remember I told you when I said one of the yellow flags is acts like a stranger in our own country. See, Filipinos don't really meet strangers. Okay, they're very friendly. They're very open. They'll ask you some personal questions. Don't take it. Don't take offense to it. It's just how they are. So maybe he's been over here for a week now, about a week. Maybe he's doing a whole lot better than he was before. He says if you have WhatsApp, you can still have these deep conversations, Tom. Yeah, that's another way of doing it. But be careful what you wish for, Tom. You really don't want to have those type of conversations over here because they never turn out good. Okay, especially if it's that triangle of sports, politics, religion. If you stay away from those three and be able to talk about something else, like maybe what your life is really like over here, or what you miss from home, or those type of things, yeah. But if you hit on those three, you're gonna be arguing. You know, Timothy Bright says, "Hey everyone, Cal just logged on. Hey Cal, just logged on. Are you still doing the long walk? How do you feel and loss of weight?" No, I'm finished. I finished Thursday last week. We arrived. Steve helped me. He pushed me, man. And with that ibuprofen holding back the pain, we walked 11 and a half hours the last day. Once that wore off, man, I tore my feet up. But I'm feeling a whole lot better now. I'm pretty sure I lost 15 pounds of weight. I wasn't eating. I've lost a lot of muscle too that I'm going to get back. I was going to go to the gym with Marilyn today, but she's going to that other gym I don't like to go. Uh, you know, so I'll wait till I get back to St. Carlos City. Xavier Allen, what's going on, man? I got an album. This guy gave me a CD of his, man. He's talented. A lot of these guys, they're very humble. And see, when I talked about being humble and practicing humility, see, people over there, they think, oh, that's for the olden days. Look, guys, I'm going to tell you something. If you want to win in this world, man, the way it is now, need to be humble. You can do whatever you want to do, okay? But if something good is going to be said about you, it's better that it comes from somewhere else, not you. People don't like that, okay? I haven't written an insurance policy in over 5 years. October would have been 5 years. Next month will be 5 years, and those people are still on my books. I'm still receiving renewals from that. Why? Because I'm humble, man. I practice humility when I walk into their houses. It's not always about me and banging my chest all the time. But this guy's humble because he's really, really talented. He said, "Hey, Cal, I still have a hard time understanding why men get married so fast when they go over there. I never hear about that sort of thing in the circles in which I travel. Your thoughts?" It happens more times than it's talked about. See, a lot of people, they come over here and they hide. They don't want help. They know they've effed up. So they had that kind of thing. But a lot of men come over and get married within that first 2 weeks. Or they'll go back home, Xavier, and start the visa process, having met the woman only one time. They don't know who they're marrying. They don't know who they're bringing to the United States or Britain or wherever. Okay? And it's because they're suffering from chronic loneliness. A lot of them are desperate. They're going through one of those dry spells. And see, the women over here, they know what to do. Okay? They know how to crack that code. And next thing you know, you're signing over everything. Okay? These aren't normal relationships we're having over here. And I tell guys that all the time. They come over here, they get women pregnant right away. You don't even know the woman. Like, hey, we're committing we're coming over here and creating the life that we're escaping from over there, we're recreating it over here as if something's going to change. Retired 2019 said, Cal, how's your recovery coming along? It's coming along good. Actually, great. That's one thing I was surprised how quick I was recovering. If you think walking 10 hours a day is easy, or 9 or 8 or whatever it is, and then you have to wake up the next day at 3:30 and do it all over again. It's not. But I followed some protocols, just some little tips that I saw online, and I was surprised how loose and especially how well my feet felt the next day. That's what I was afraid of with Retired 19. I was afraid that when I got up, my bones and my muscles would be so stiff and my joints, but that never really happened. It happened uh, on the road though, but you get so far out there that you can't stop. There's nowhere to stop. There's nobody to help you. You have to keep walking, and pretty soon you get to your destination. Quantum Good said marriage equals visa. Yeah, but they can get the visa without getting married. That K1, one guy came over here for 3 days. This is a true story. He told me this from his mouth, from his own mouth. What saved him was the woman was already engaged to a Japanese guy. Imagine he came to the Philippines for 3 days. I don't know what the woman did to him, but whatever it wasn't worth a visa and a new life, but he thought it was. Her best friend told on her. Say, yeah, she's, you're a good guy. This is how they tell. You're a good guy. I don't want to see you hurt, right? But what that's really masking is jealousy. Because not only is the American man paying this woman, but the Japanese is paying her too. So she's getting about 70,000 a month, more than a doctor probably, for doing nothing but just being a girlfriend. But he came over for 3 days, went back and started the visa process and all that, eventually stopped it. But you can do that K1. And it doesn't mean that they're going to stay with you. Remember about the guy down in Jacksonville, Florida? He comes over here for 2 weeks, marries the woman while he's here, goes back to separate along this relationship for a year while the CR1 is going to marriage, the spousal visa is going through the process. Instead of her going straight to Jacksonville, Florida and reuniting with him, she says, no, I want to stop off at New Jersey and see my family, which turned out to be another man. Okay. So after those 2 weeks, she goes to Jacksonville, Florida while he's at work delivering fruit or whatever it is his job was as delivery man in some fruit factory. The visa comes in the mail. She gets it and runs off. He hasn't seen her since. This is 2017. He tried everything. Homeland Security, the whole 9 yards. It didn't work. She's over there living the best life. Probably told the people he abused her. So now she's able to get the 10-year green card. I'm sure she's a citizen right now. So no, you don't have to get married. But nothing that we say on these vlogs are you going to listen to. You're grown men and women. You're going to come over here. You're going to do whatever you want to do. But I'm telling you, these aren't normal circumstances over here. They're certainly not normal relationships. But we come over here and we get tricked into this stuff. And next thing you know, we find ourselves in a jackpot situation, man. Hey, Travel and Solo Vlog says, hey, Cal, I'd like to link up whenever, brother. I'm here. Okay. Well, we're having the meet and greet Thursday. If you're anywhere near St. Carlos City, that's like 3 hours from Cebu, 2.5 hours from Bacala, 3.5 hours from Iloilo, 4 hours from Dumaguete, September 28th. That's Thursday at Mr. C Outdoor Restaurant in Center Mall. Okay, there's Geechee lying right there. He's in Iloilo now. He'll be in the guest house on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to meeting you, man. I'm gonna interview you. I'm gonna put you on the hot seat though. Okay. Because I want to help you. But yeah, I'm interested in meeting you. You become sort of a legend over here. Yeah, but a lot of people are lukewarm about that. My buddy TJ, y'all know him. He signed up for that Starlink, and hell, they took his 20,000 pesos deposit. No Starlink, no nothing. Now he's hustling, trying to get his money back. I have good Wi-Fi in San Carlos City, but you're right. If I can get reliable Starlink, who knows? Maybe I will. But it's lukewarm right now, Dana. I'm waiting for more, um, more experience, more reviews rather. Gerald Wilkins says, I'm late to the live. Old head veteran checking in from Delaware. Yeah, my buddy just left from New Hampshire. Jam Silver says, how's Steve recovering? I think that was his name. Yeah, Steve, he's like an armed man, man. This guy's a retired state trooper. He's from the David Goggins School of Thought. I mean, he says he's okay. He's coming by today about 2 o'clock because he knows I'm leaving in the morning. But he says he's okay. I mean, he's a warrior, man. To walk all that way, and y'all think I'm playing. This guy literally got up out of his hospital bed after 5 days. He was 5 days in the hospital in Cebu. Came back to Dumaguete, met me on my fourth day, and he walked for 22 hours total in a pair of unitop sneakers, guys. If we'd have had to take another step, he wouldn't have made it. Those shoes told on themselves. Because I said, man, because see, he could get on a motorcycle at any time and he already proved his point. He said, no, I'm not going to do it, Cal. I said, go over and sit down, man. He said, it take the police a court order, he said, to get him to quit. Paul, not in the Philippines, says, thanks for the live. You appreciate it. Yeah, he says, learning to slow down in the Philippines is like learning to walk again for some Western visitors. That's our biggest problem, Dana. People over here know how to relax. When we look at it, we'll see it as being lazy. It's not. They know how to relax over here. We think we always have to be busy. As an insurance agent, I'm going to tell you something. You can be busy without getting anything and without being productive. It means absolutely nothing. I had to learn to sit my butt down over here and relax like everybody else. This morning, Marilyn was in the hammock. I'm walking up and down the beach doing a damn video. She's sitting back in the hammock, feeling that ocean breeze under a shade tree. That's what we need to learn how to do over here. Joe Wilkins says, what do we want to accomplish from this life when we use the words deep conversations? That may not be able to be answered, but many continue to no conclusion. Yeah, I think hopefully he's not talking about that triangle, man. It's a triangle of death, too. Sports, religion, and politics. It's going to get you over there. You got grown men acting like little boys over there, following these sports teams and athletes. It's time for them to grow up, man. Take that same damn energy. I mean, it's your life, right? Can't tell you what to do. But from the outside looking in, it looks ridiculous. Now, when I was over there, I couldn't see it. But now that I'm over here and I'm looking at y'all like, come on, man. At some point, you got to know these guys. Who cares who the greatest basketball player it is? I mean, that's nothing. I want to know somebody who's curing cancer, something a lot more serious going on. Okay, not who can throw, who's the best at throwing a damn basketball through a hoop or football down the field. It just sounds ridiculous to a grown man. At 10 years old, yeah, I get it. But at 60, no, I can't get it, man. Y'all spending much too much time, much too much energy and money following these teams. Okay. Geechee Lyons Journey said Calvin's right about the Filipino culture with friendly people, the questions, etc. Yeah, I knew it would help you, and it helps a lot of guys who are bashful and kind of shy and the like. Hey, California World Travel said, hell, Calvin, I'll be in the Philippines for a month in January. Gerald Stapak says exactly the three things I stay away from talking about here at home. I mean, if you got good sense, guys, you will. And he says Metro Manila smog getting better. Now, is that coming? They said that was coming from the volcano, or is it just coming from uh, the traffic and the congestion, which is some of the worst on the planet? But those three subjects is all we talk about over there. I guarantee you, if you're at work now, you're lunch. Well, you're not at work now over there. But when you go to work tomorrow, they're going to talk about that. Some of those guys don't want to go to work on Monday because other people are going to put it in their face about Dion. They were riding that hype train over there. They don't realize the media does that on purpose. Now they're saying the media's hating on him. Yeah, it's just a never-ending circle. Has anybody ever heard of Tiger Woods? Probably one of the most dominant athletes in our time. Y'all see how they built him up only to bring him down like that? Okay. 0007, imagine. He says, I will be moved to the Philippines in about 3 years with my wife and youngest daughter. Joe Wilkins says, I'm 66 years old. What I want now in this, the fourth quarter of life? I'm discussing this with people very close to me. Absolutely. I think we all should be having those type of conversations with other people and with ourselves. Like, what do I really want to do with the rest of my life? I know how much money I got in the bank. I don't know how much time I have left. What do I really want to do? And I should be doing it now instead of putting it off like we're good at doing over there, because we act as if we're going to live for 1,000 years in all aspects of our life. Or I got plenty of time to forgive him, or I got plenty of time to save for my retirement, or stop smoking, or whatever it is, get a divorce, and all of that. We act as if we're going to live for 1,000 years. That's how we act. Gerald Stepak says, did you use moleskin on your feet every day? Only the first 2 days, because I ran out. When I bought the Dr. Scholl's, okay, it was 850 pesos. Now, over here, that's a lot of money for moleskin. I'm thinking it's a whole big pack. I'll be able to use it the whole 5 days or whatever. I got 3 sheets, about, let's see, I'm going to say 4 by 4, not even that, maybe 3 by 3, 3 inch by 3 inch squares. Geechee Lyons said, I already gone through the process of slowing down and killing noise. Yeah. Grumpy Dude Brad said, Cal, can you always tell a first time in the fields? He's likely someone who never left the United States. Even the Caribbean or Caribbean is somewhat as slow as the fields. I can actually tell. I can always tell. We were in the airport one time. There was this guy. I knew he was from America. He seen that long line waiting for the taxi. Or he was just walking up and down, cursing and swearing. And the Filipino girlfriend was so embarrassed. I mean, it is what it is over here. We're not used to standing in lines over there. No, he says that killer noise, yeah. Yeah, Grumpy Dude Brian, you're right on the money. You can easily tell a new guy over here. But let's go back through some of these yellow flags for people who joined the live stream late. We got red flags that say stop, danger, green flags that say, yeah, keep going. This is a good catch. But then there's yellow ones that want you to pause and take a longer look to proceed with caution. This may or may not be the person you think she is. And number one is when you come to visit her, she doesn't go out of her way to accommodate you. That's a yellow flag. She's lukewarm about you coming over here. She doesn't appreciate the effort you've put forward to make it here, that you put forth to make it here from the West. That brutal plane ride, the expensive, you're paying for everything. Why is it a yellow flag? Because Filipinos are very hospitable. Under normal circumstances, ladies and gentlemen, she's going to be thrilled beyond reason that you're here. She's going to take you everywhere, want to show you all, teach you your first word of Tagalog, you know, make you your first Filipino meal, show you they're proud of their country over here, okay? But if all she wants to do is just sit around the hotel room or whatever it is, her family's house, man, that's a yellow flag. You may want to take a closer look at that, okay? Number two, she's acts like a stranger in her own country, overly shy and bashful. See, that's a yellow flag. You know, why? Because Filipinos, they don't meet strangers among their own people. And you'll see it. If she meets you at the airport and you get in the taxi, she's going to call him Kuya, which means like brother, I guess. And they're going to be talking as if they've been knowing each other. I was like, do you know him? You know, but she's acting like that, scared to ask for directions. If you need a pedicure or manicure, she's afraid to ask the local people, hey, where can he get this done? That's a yellow flag, man, especially, when you're talking about taking her away from her family and friends, because a lot of guys, they want to know, hey, well, I don't want to move. I don't want to take her, I don't want to move close to the friends and family, right? Which is a bad mistake. That's what you want to do. You want to keep her near because if she's from Bohol and you take her to Cebu, you're both gonna be tourists in Cebu. The third thing is pouting and acting spoiled when you get here. Wants all the attention, acting like a baby, right? Filipinos are tough as nails. They have to be to make it over here. It's not easy here. So when you get somebody over here that's acting like that, you know, it could be trouble, man, especially if you move in together, which you probably are, or worse, you get married. You want to know all this stuff before, not after. But most of us, we dive right in. My biggest mistake over here was never being single. I never had my own place. That's why I tell you guys, I made all the mistakes for you already. And, they say, "Oh, you're doing it." Okay, so if you want to bring that type of Western thinking over here, and because he did it, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, okay, well, I warned you. Yeah, I would keep my own place. She's gonna appreciate you more. Okay, you can help her without moving her in, because if you move her in, it's trouble, man. She's gonna be there every day anyway, knocking on your door anyway, because she don't trust you. She thinks that you got another woman in there, a dreamer in there. Ronald said it's like with any other person you meet, you have to vet them, but when dealing with another culture, it's nice that you're teaching us what to look out for. Yeah, but this is not normal circumstances, Ronald, because I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. You're gonna come over here and you're gonna see that little 22-year-old bombshell gonna meet you at the airport. Perfect skin, perfect body, and you're gonna be in a taxi. You're gonna hear it. You're gonna her hair smells like cream silk, and then she's gonna mumble those words that you probably never heard before. If you haven't, it's been a long, long time. You can do whatever you want to do to me. And we lose it. Something, you know, the wires uh, become disconnected. We lose all sense of, all common sense. It's gone out the window, and you're uh, a sitting duck, basically. So yeah, you want to vet them, but we're not going to vet them, man. When she shows up there with those, have you ever seen a Filipino? A lot of you guys have who have come over here. Have you seen the short shorts that they wear? And they're not doing it on purpose. It's just that what the shorts that they get, they put them on and come outside. They're super, super short. Okay. All those skinny jeans are super, super tight. Okay. And it just does something to a man's uh, thinking, man. Hey, Hitman, thanks for that super sticker. Gerald Wilkins says, are we pawns to be moved around the chessboard of life, or do the powerful use the working class at their leisure pleasure? What does a person need to control their destiny in life? Well, we need to learn how to think for ourselves. You're capable of making decisions on your own. Because a lot of times in my life over there, until I came here, I was only thinking I was making my own decisions. The media is much too powerful over there. It's propaganda. They'll tell you who to vote for, literally. They can make enemies out of your friends over there. They're so manipulative, you know, and that's what happens in American politics over there. A lot of these guys who turned into our worst enemies, or the world's worst enemies, were allies of the United States at one time. And then they put it in the media, and the media made them into the worst people that's ever lived. It's just not true. So at some point, you have to stop believing in Santa Claus and all that other stuff that they teach you early on in your life. That dogs can talk, dinosaurs can talk, and all that stupid stuff. At some point, you got to say, hey, this is bull, and get rid of it. You know, but, you know, we're afraid to. A lot of us are afraid to. A lot of what you, a lot of your beliefs that you have in your mind as a grown man right now, they were pounded in there when you were about 8 years old. Now you have the power to get rid of them, but you're afraid. You know it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all, any of this stuff, but you're afraid to. Okay. Hey, Kentucky Aboriginal says, I'd like to visit San Carlos City soon. How much is the ferry and the bus ride from Cebu? Just a rough estimate, please, Cal. Okay, if you're in Cebu and you catch the bus to Toledo, it's about 170 pesos. And then if you want aircon on the ferry, it's 265. So you're talking about 400, say 450 pesos for that ride. Approximately about $8, a little bit less than $8. If I were you, I'd take the bus. Okay. LOL, Cal sounding like what a fit girl in leggings do to me. I can't help but ask myself, don't they know what they do to me in those things? Yet they walking around in skin tights like it's Tuesday. Yeah. And see, that's what the problem is. Philippines, they're innocent with that. They have no idea. You know, because I got to get on Maryland sometimes. I mean, Marilyn works out mainly her legs and stuff, and they become so muscular and so fit. And she'll put on some super short shorts, man, and they'll be showing half her butt, you know. And I was like, you can't do that to me, and you got to keep me and honest. You know, you certainly can't walk around somebody's husband looking like that, but they don't think they're doing anything wrong. But that's what's going to happen to you. You're going to get blindsided. You're going to get ambushed at that airport. You're not going to know what hit you. Last time you've been with a 22-year-old, when you were 22. But when I try to tell you this, I can handle it. You know, you tough guys over there. See, a friend of mine gave me this book. I'm going to read this. Not that I'm part of the manosphere. I'm actually anti-manosphere. It's the unplugged alpha. But if you've ever debated before, you have to know the other side, right? This is what you guys are bringing over here. A friend of mine gave me this book. Okay, uh, all that tough guy stuff, right? And you turn to butter when you get over here. All that stuff sounds good until you get over here. And because a lot of the women that that were put into our minds over there in America, what a woman is supposed to look like and act like, she's here. You really have no mental defense against it, guys. I'm sorry, you don't. Anybody that says that they do, they're lying. Yeah, Daisy Dukes, man, it's just unbelievable. Dana said, Calvin, I can endorse that you are not exaggerating about the majority of the women in the Philippines. It's true. We have no mental defense against that. But we try. They get on these live streams. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. Everything that you say you're not going to do over there, you end up doing over here. The best of us do. See? The best of us. Now, let's keep going. Okay. The last one was pouting and acting spoiled. Filipinos are tough as nails, guys. Now, what we do is we dull their edge. Okay, you spend 2 weeks with them. They sleeping on real mattresses, hot and cold, showers, aircon 24/7, 3 meals a day. Lounging around on these nice resorts and stuff like that. You dull the edge. So when you go back, it's harder for them now to readjust and get back, readjust to life as it really is over here. So sometimes, we think our intentions are good, but really they're bad. Okay. Number 4 is no expression or personality. You come over here and you get with a woman, she just got that old long face. You know, she Filipinos, they love to laugh. Okay, they got an authentic smile that you're not used to seeing over there. It'll brighten up a whole room. If she doesn't do that when you're here, man, that's a yellow flag. You gotta be like, well, what are you hiding, lady? Because Filipinos are full of personality. I come from Kentucky. Very few Asians in Kentucky that I was exposed to. So I couldn't tell the difference between a Japanese and a Chinese, South Korean, or Filipino till I landed in Korea 2009. And I'm in the boarding area. It's nothing but Filipinos. They're going back home. And I could tell immediately, okay, so these are Filipinos. These are Korean. The Koreans, they're just so rigid and cold and stiff. Filipinos, they're laughing, they're joking, they're happy, everybody's going home. I knew right away they had so much more personality. So if you get over here and you're with a woman, it doesn't mean she's a bad person. It doesn't mean don't keep going. It just means you need to stop and be like, well, what's going on with you? What are you hiding? Okay, because she may be hiding something. Because they're good at hiding that. Solutions by says, I would love to see Calvin comparing each chapter of the Unplugged Alpha with his own experience in the Philippines. I would even pay Patreon for that. Yeah, well, see, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read this book. It's not a lot of pages. Let's see how many pages. It's only 200 pages. I could probably read this in one day if it's interesting. Now, he said it was a best-selling on Amazon. It's the no bullshit guide to winning with women in life. But that man is very tough guy, women are the problem stuff. I'm not really with that. We have to have some type of responsibility. But I'm going to read it because I'm anti-manosphere, really. I'm not anti-man, but I'm anti-manosphere. I think you can get what you want without, bashing women and saying that they're the problem when it could be Could be you. But number 5 is if she's not a freak in bed. That's a yellow flag. It may mean to you, okay, look, I've got some teaching to do. Or if she's not willing to learn new things, because it's very important. It's part of the unspoken agreement. And I don't care how much you religious nuts out there talk about, that sex isn't important. It's very important in a relationship. And y'all the freakiest ones, the ones carrying around those Bibles. Y'all the freakiest ones, okay? But that's a yellow flag because normally they're open to anything. They may say something like, "I'll just be gentle, or don't hurt me," or something like that. Uh, so if you come over here and she's not a freak in bed, or not willing to become a freak, that's a yellow flag, because you certainly, when you get married, you don't want that. She said, now see, say, well, Calvin, that's a red flag. No, a red flag is, oh, let's wait till we have sex. Let's wait till we get married before we have sex. Now she wants you to make the ultimate sacrifice, you know, just for some pussy or whatever. Well, you got to make that decision. E. C. Buano says, good morning, Cal. On my way out the door, I read that Unplugged out for decent info. Check out The Rational Male, another good read. Keep healing. Best of you and yours. Great subject. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna read it. I don't think it's not something I would buy, but it was a gift, so I'm gonna read it. He came in one of the Balik buying boxes. He said he thought about me because he heard me talking about the alpha male. But all I could find on alpha, beta, sigma, psychologists say that there's no such thing, that we all exhibit certain characteristics of all of those things. But there's nobody that's just a straight alpha male, no matter how much they try to convince you that they are. Robert Tatum said, Cal, in your opinion, what's the number one thing a retiring expat from Texas needs to check at the door when coming to Southeast Asia for retirement? I know attitude is one to check. Well, probably our expectations, This isn't America. And we are England. Well, you're from Texas. So, yeah, so it's not America. So don't come over here comparing Southeast Asia to America. You're going to have a hard time doing that. Just come over here and soak it all in the best you can. I don't know if you're going to retire over here, but your expectations, you're going to have to lower them just a little bit. But remember, you can find whatever you're looking for over here. It's just going to take some time. But if you think you're coming from Amarillo, Texas, and that's what you're going to find over in the Philippines, all the internet, all the roads aren't as good, all this, all that, you're going to have a hard time adjusting over here. And then, what are your expectations for your life when you get here? We never talk about that. I mean, what do you expect your life to be like over here? Because usually that's what it's going to be. We become what we think about. Mike Dawsonville says, God created man to be alpha. Then through the years, some of us are becoming beta and simp for real. But, it just depends on what you believe, If you believe that, I don't knock you for that. Okay. But I just have a problem, with all that stuff, man. Have anybody ever took the time to study this earth that we live on, that this God supposedly has created? Okay. It's a volatile earth, guys. Is what it is. Very little of it is accessible to man. Very little of it. Can we even live on it? You know, so I don't know. It's just something. If that's what you believe, I don't have a problem with that. You know, I don't believe in that anymore. I don't believe there's some man up there looking down on me. I just don't believe it. Okay, because the rich and powerful and famous say that they're chosen. Okay, then the poor people are saying, well, I'm unworthy. I need more work. I got to praise him more so he can show favor to me and all of that, right? You know, I have a problem when people tell me God told them to do something. Okay, he says, I plan on coming Thursday to the meet and greet. But I don't want to bring that into the conversation, guys, especially in the Philippines. We don't do it. You know, because some guy says, oh, in the comments on this last video I made, he says, oh, keep that racist, oppressive stuff uh, over there. I don't know what he was saying, but he doesn't understand that there's men over here waving the Confederate flag. Okay, I don't pay attention to it. It doesn't bother me. But you can't tell me to leave that stuff. Don't talk about that stuff when people bring it over here. There's people in Dumaguete with the Confederate flag. That guy Jules that was paralyzed from the neck down with that disease he's got. On most of his videos, he's sitting there in his chair in his yard, and he's got the Confederate flag waving behind him. I'm like, why would you bring the Confederate flag over here? Filipinos have no idea what the Confederate flag is. You know what it is, but you bring it over here. See, this is the type of stupid stuff I'm talking about. See, but I don't, I don't mind. I just immediately shut his video off. I don't watch him. I won't watch him, But religion, politics, and sports. I just don't do it, guys. It's the triangle of death. It's another triangle of death. We don't need that over here, man. You don't see people doing that over here. But the minute you start that, it turns enemies. It makes family out of enemies, man. You know. He says, hey, not ass kissing, Shan, but you really do be spitting out some serious knowledge on many levels. Got to give you your props, my friend. Thank you. I'm 60 years old. If you're 60 years old, you should have some common sense knowledge by now. If you don't, I feel sorry for you. And that's all it is. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. It's just my perspective. Everybody's got one. People are just afraid to tell you their perspective because they know they're going to get hit with somebody else's perspective. But thank you, but that's all. Yeah, patience. You gotta have patience over here. But yeah, I don't like to talk about religion, politics, and sports. It just muddies the water over here. That's all we know in America. We can't talk about anything else. What is it that's going on in your life that makes you contemplate leaving your country, the comfy confines of your zone, to a whole different country, whole different culture? You got to basically start all over. What's that all about? See, that's interesting to me. I'm going to interview a guy today. This guy cured his own prostate cancer. Okay. See, this is the type of stuff I like to talk about. Okay. Because, people, they have cancer and they pray to God who created the damn cancer to get rid of the cancer. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me. What did I do? What did my mother do? She went to church every single day of her life, did everything that the Bible and everything said. And I'd be damned if she don't die of lung cancer. I mean, just saying. Mr. X says, hey, Cal, they say the women be chasing us out of the airport to get married as soon as we land. And I'll take 3. Well, they're going to speed you up. That's for sure. Everything is slow over here. There's nothing fast over here. Everything moves slow. The typical Filipino man knows it takes him, he's got to court the woman. You don't have to court her, but he does. He's got to meet the family. He's got to bring food over there. She has to answer him. That's what they say. She may let that go on for 6 months or a year until he keeps, as long as he keeps trying, he's bringing food. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen him play the guitar in the province. I've seen him bring food every single day in the city. You don't have to do that. Okay. The minute you get off that plane, she's going with you to the hotel. That should tell you something right there. But it doesn't register. You know what we think, okay? Because remember, all we know is Western thinking. You know what that tells us? Oh, I'm special. Yeah. Okay. You said, God is not a man. I don't know. Frank Tate said, everyone cannot lead. So even if you are an alpha, you have to step back to make things work out. And see, that's what I'm saying. Everybody wants to be the alpha. If you ask a man, do you think a man's going to tell you, oh, I'm a beta? When in fact, he's a beta, sigma, and an alpha. At certain points in your life, you're going to exhibit those traits where you have to step up and lead and be the man. Sometimes you have to step back. But you're not a sigma every day of the damn week. You're not an alpha every damn day of the week. You're going to tell me Mitch McConnell's a damn alpha? Come on. Jonathan says everyone thinks they're going to change someone else to suit themselves rather than accept them for who they are. That's why relationships fail. Yeah, relationships of all kinds fail. See, I'm tired of Americans. They're the only ones that they try to tell you who to root for, who to pray to. Okay? It just doesn't make sense. Who to vote for. Look at my comments. They'll tell me, stop talking about this, or stop doing this and doing that. Man, you can't tell me what to do. I'm a grown man. But we're quick to do that. And that's in all relationships. Okay? They want to tell you you're a hater because you don't love the same people they love. It's ridiculous when you're a grown man, when you're thinking like a grown man. And you see the things that they're doing and fighting and killing each other over in America, my country, that I grew up and lived for the first 55 years of my life. It's embarrassing, is what it is. Show that same energy that y'all showing over there about Deion Sanders in your own damn community, man. Maybe something will change. Turn in some of them damn drug dealers and killers that's walking around over there that you had and that you protecting over there. This is all I'm saying. Y'all sound like a bunch of hypocrites. We're rooting for the wrong people. Deion Sanders is a multimillionaire, man. He doesn't care about what I think or what you think. It's all about him. He's going to benefit from that. You're not. And they get mad at you because you don't go along with any of that. Or you don't, if I don't condemn Trump, then somehow I'm going along with what he's saying. No, I don't vote for Trump. I don't agree with what anybody says. I'm capable of making my own decisions. It's the blind leading the blind over there. You've been fooled all these years, so all of a sudden I'm supposed to follow you. You're following the followers over there, by the way. The last time I bought into this stuff, I got tricked. Y'all fooled me into voting for Obama, that everything was going to change. Oh, it's a post-racial. Black people's lives are going to get better. Just vote for Obama. These guys are great salesmen, but they're not bigger than the system. These are institutions we're talking about: religion, sports, politics. Deion Sanders is not going to change the landscape of college football, no matter how much you convince me that he is. He's going to have to play by the same rules they're going to play by. The system's going to swallow him up like it does everybody else eventually. Okay? So stop with that foolishness, guys. It sounds ridiculous. That's hell he's going to change that institution. They're not going to let him. Yeah, yeah, Confederate flag. His name is Jules. Juellz. Now, what's it? Does that mean he's a bad guy? I don't know. I don't sit there and watch him enough. But I seen that Confederate flag. It has no business over here in the Philippines. They don't know what that's about. What are you bringing that over here for? Okay, this is what I'm talking about. But I don't pay it any attention. But I got eyes and I saw it. Because somebody sent me the link. Hey, this guy is paralyzed or something, something. Did you see it, Cal? No, I didn't see it. So I click on it, and he's sitting there in his front yard. You know, this before, it's one of his videos before he became paralyzed. And there it is, clear as day, a Confederate flag. But I'm not even saying, you know, because some people, you know, they'll tell you it means something else to them. Okay? Yeah, he said, Cal, there was a guy built his house, and when they walked in one of the rooms, there was a Confederate flag. And a Philippine viewer asked him to please not to bring that hate to their country. Hey, Mary S. Travers. Hey, Yusuf. I'm just saying, guys, grow up. Don't be afraid to make a decision on your own. Letting people tell you who to root for, who to pray to, who to vote for. You're 60 years old. Nothing's going to happen to you. He said, yeah, Jules is a South Carolina flag. His flag is the state flag. That's foolishness. It's not the state flag. Yeah, I mean, you know, but it doesn't matter to me. If he wants to be that way, just don't bring around me. I can remove myself from the situation if I can't do anything else. And that's what I did. It's going to take 1,000 years to reverse that system over there. It's not going anywhere. You know, it's just what it is. Money, politics, gender wars, and sports. Yeah, that's all it is. Now they're saying all the media's picking on. Okay, now look, the guy wins 3 games and they overhype it, right? But then when he loses, oh, well, it's just 1 game and now y'all doing this. Well, it was just 3 games that he won and you making him, you're ready to make a statue of him. He's not going to affect that college landscape guy. These are great salesmen. I got to tip my hat to him because I'm a salesman, earning millions and millions of dollars. Look, okay, when Obama went into office, man, he didn't have the money that he has now. He's super rich now. He lives in a $13 million house. Do you think he gives a damn really about me? No. So why should I care about him? I don't. Yeah, yeah. He said when someone tells you that God spoke to them, ask him what his voice sounded like. Well, you know, I just get uh I'm really skeptical when people tell me that. Frank Ellis said, now that's interesting. Curing your own prostate cancer. That's must see television. Yeah. Well, this guy's a real deal. You know, I'm gonna let him tell the story. But he's coming today. He wants me to interview him because he wasn't gonna do it. I said, look, man, you got that type of information. You need to share it. If it can help just one person. He said, yeah, okay, I'm not a doctor. He said, it may not work for everybody. You know, it worked for me. You know, and so I'm gonna put that disclaimer in the video. You know, we're not doctors. You know, it may not work for you. You know, but he said 4 specialists because he went to 4 specialists, and they all diagnosed him with prostate cancer and said, hey, you have to have your prostate removed. And he said, I'll be damned. I'm not having mine removed. Is there anything else I can do? And the doctor said, yeah. He says, but I'm going to tell you something. We're going to monitor you. And once we see you going bad, you get your butt back in here where it never happened. Okay. But that's the type of stuff that interests me. Not did the Cleveland Browns win last night. No, see, here's what I'm saying. Y'all quick to make people name. I don't agree in the Easter Bunny either. So if I don't believe in the Easter Bunny or the Tooth Fairy and any other stuff, you don't call me an atheist. I'm not an atheist. I just don't believe in that story. That's all. I'm sorry. MK said, Cal, you're humble and wise in my opinion. Have you had any older men confide they are unable to get it up? And if so, should they let the young woman know? Yeah, we have those discussions all the time. We try to help each other with what's the new male supplement of the day. You know, there's old guys over here who claim that with the help of Viagra, they're still satisfying the woman. I've never taken Viagra. I've taken some supplements. One of my subscribers he sells that type of stuff over in Singapore. He sent me like 4 different samples, but they work too well. Marilyn said she don't want me to use them. But I'm saying I want it to come to a climax at some point. I just don't want to beat a dead horse, if you know what I mean. At some point, I want it to come to an end, to a climax. But as men, we think that, we have to satisfy the woman or she's going to leave or whatever it is. And they do whatever it is that they think that they need to do. But, yeah, there's a lot of guys who can't get it up and their girlfriends will tell Marilyn. Some guys just aren't interested. When we was at the meet and greet in Lapu Lapu for my birthday, May 28th, the women, they all get at the same table, and that's what they talk about. They talk about stuff like that. Well, how often do y'all do it? Some is every day, some twice a week. One lady who I was shocked, because I know her boyfriend, said once a month. So he's not interested. I was like, wow, once a month. But I don't think they're going to kick you back in. He said, Cal, so you don't believe in Jesus Christ? Well, what if I don't? I mean, so that means you don't like me anymore? I mean, isn't it enough that you believe in Jesus Christ and that you're going to heaven? Why are you trying to convince me that I have to do it? Okay, Jesus Christ, that character you're talking about, is a plagiarized character. Do you know there are so many other people that have that same story who came before this Jesus Christ that you're saying? Just be thankful you believe in him. That should be good enough. But that's what I'm saying. Don't bring that stuff on my channel because it divides people. I'm trying to bring people together. What difference does it make what I believe in? It's what you believe in. That's what's important, not what I believe in. What you eat don't make me shit, man. Okay, come on, guys. Be for real about that. Mind your own business. See, he believes in Bugs Bunny, he said. If you guys want to believe in all that stuff, believe in it. It should be good enough you're going to heaven. You know, 53 Shades Darker said eat lots of watermelon, which I've heard this too. He says has citrulline. there's a couple of recipes you can go online. They're simple to make. It's the watermelon rind. I think it's 4 ounces of watermelon rind, 4 ounces of watermelon. I think it's a half a teaspoon of a cayenne pepper and 4 ounces of water. Put that in the blender and drink that 30 minutes before it's time. And I think it's like the natural Viagra. But I'm just saying, okay, where was this Jesus Christ doing slavery, man? I mean, where was he? Simple as that. Slavery wasn't some walk in the park, man. See, they don't really tell you about what slavery really was. It was chattel slavery. It was brutal, far brutal than anything you can wrap your mind around. And what kind of God is going to sit around and watch that for 300 years? And to try to teach you a damn lesson. Yeah, right. Thank you. He said everyone's an atheist to other people's gods. Do you realize there's 300, I want to say 300 million gods or something like that in India? Okay. All right. I'm just saying. But we're so arrogant that it's our God. That's the one, the real one. All the rest of them don't mean anything. Okay. Yeah, well, thank you, Gregory, for believing in that. Don't bring your beliefs to me. I'm sitting over here. I'm going to be honest with you. It was over here in 2011 when I started having doubts about these stories I was given. I was sitting here in the Philippines. I was going to make a video about it, but I don't want to offend the Filipino people. I'm saying this is the most religious country in the world. Okay. Some of the greatest people I've ever met. But look at what that gets them. Okay, look at what that gets them. Yeah, beat a dead horse. Yeah, I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. That's all we want to do. Yeah, well, they all here. Yeah, let's leave religion out of it, because it really doesn't add up to nothing. I believe it. Yeah, people get triggered if you don't agree with them. It's whatever it is. And I just don't want to live my life that way anymore. You're free to believe whatever you want to believe in, ladies and gentlemen. This is all I'm saying. Don't be afraid to believe whatever it is you want to believe or not believe. Follow your heart, whoever you want to follow. Don't be pressured into following people and religions and programs and different things like that. You're grown. Make up your own damn decision. I'm just saying, guys, yeah, well, I'm already in hell. I'm already in hell. I think heaven and hell is a state of mind. Anyway, sometimes, some moments I'm in hell, some moments I'm in heaven. I'm only going to be here for just a fragment of time. Okay? And if your God's going to punish me to burn in hell forever and ever and ever, then okay, he's a petty God. He's petty as hell. But he'll sit around and watch slavery, watch human beings get tortured and butchered and killed for so many hundreds of years and do nothing. But just because I sit up here with a brain that he gave me, by the way, and it's not free will, because you're saying if I don't believe, I'm going to burn forever. That's not free will. It sounds like a slave master to me. And that's what I used to tell my father, and we'd get into it. I said, Daddy, God and the slave master, they got too much in common. I gotta ask him to do everything and sit there, ask his permission and plead for him. Because see, back then, remember, the slave master did everything for the slave. So he looked at the slave master as God. He told him when to go to bed, when to get up, when to eat, gave him all his clothes. Everything came from the slave master. That's why he called him Lord. Hey, King Arthur, thanks for that super chat. He says, I'm not a religious person, but what type of God would let his children suffer like this? Yeah, I mean, it's just so many questions. But when you ask those questions that they can't answer, they'll say, oh, you're not supposed to question God. Okay, well, if he's that petty and he wants to make me burn forever and ever, but they said that, what's his name? What's the mass murderer's name? Ted Bundy. They said he asked for forgiveness on the way to the electric chair. That's not true. He was crying like a damn baby. But if he did, and they said God forgave him and he went to heaven. Really? Okay. Yeah, believe what you want, man. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Look what they did to Mike Vick. Yeah. Yeah, they don't even read the Bible. They don't know what's in there. My father was a preacher, and he preached the same few little sentences. My father could take 2 words and make a whole sermon out of it, because they leave out all that other crazy stuff that's in the Bible. They leave it out for a reason. Cutting your kids in half because they don't believe in a God and all that stuff. Read the Bible. It's some wicked stuff in there, man, but y'all leave that out. Yeah, it was a big business, but where was God in it? He's supposed to be so merciful. He let it go on for 300 years, and then on and on and on and on and on. Come on, man. No, they're not. They're not uncomfortable with it because they love hearing about this stuff. They bring it up. I didn't bring it up. Jim Crasick, did you get the PM I sent you on Facebook about the guy who got what Jules had, but he met Jesus and the devil? No. But I did see, you're the one who told me what that was. And then I think when Jules went to the doctor, they told him he had the same thing. So that means he's going to eventually recover, right? It doesn't matter. The fact is, no matter what you say, they're going to have something to say back. So, that's why you don't argue about religion. You don't argue about sports or politics. Okay? Well, no, I'm sorry. Not the type of slavery, not chattel slavery. Forced labor is another thing, man. We're talking about slavery, dude. You can't make light of that. Go study the Middle Passage and what them people were dealing with. Even before they got on them damn ships, they were staying in them damn dungeons for months and months. The humans, the shit, the piss, the women's menstrual blood, dead bodies. It was, I mean, they stayed in that stuff for months and months, man. They could not breathe, waiting for them damn ships that was even worse hell than that. Y'all guys don't know nothing about slavery for real? Yeah. And then in 1976, the world's supposed to end. Billy Graham said. But then it didn't end. And they've been saying that over and over. The world ends for somebody every single day. Okay? When you die, the world ends. Shakespeare said, what little we know of death, life should be a paradise. That's just where I am today, guys. So let's move on to something else. You know, we're never going to, okay, so what? Okay, because they had no idea if you're going to use that angle. Let's talk about that angle. He said, Cal, it was black people who sold the slaves to whites. Nobody mentions this. Yeah, everybody mentions this. People look at that angle. It's because slavery, as they knew it, was something totally different than what existed over here. Okay, it was more like forced labor. Slaves were more like the booty in wars back then. Okay, if I beat your tribe, then I'm taking a certain amount of the women and men, and then they're gonna work for me. Okay, but they were still able to talk, speak their own language, practice their own traditions, eat their own foods, practice their culture and everything like that. They wasn't chained out in the fields like chattel. They was not property, Al Rogan. Okay, this wasn't roots. It was 100 times worse than roots. Okay, they can't show you what real slavery was like on television. You couldn't stomach it, Al Rogan. So that's a weak argument, man. Imagine, I just told you what it was like when they captured these people in Central Africa. They had to walk 1,000 miles to the coast and wait in these damn slave dungeons where the excrement and the fluids, the dead bodies would be stacked up to their damn waist for months. You can't breathe. Imagine breathing that. Wasn't real. And do you think the slaves just got off the ship and all of a sudden started doing what these white people say? Or do you think there was a slave making process where they had to scare the death out of slaves to get them to do what to become slaves? I heard that they would take the biggest, toughest black man and tie one arm and leg to one horse and one arm and leg to the other, hit the horses and split them in two and say, yeah, this is going to happen to the rest of y'all if you don't get in line. Okay? But we don't read in America. History means nothing over there. So don't talk that stuff to me. Like they're supposed to make me feel like you're supposed to make things better, Al. This is the rhetoric and the reasoning that they're so ignorant about us over there. We're dumbed down over there. Well, tell that to some of the people over here who are starving. Mike, is all I'm saying. Yeah, 1999. That's right. And you're exactly right. My mother was the only God that I'll ever know. Okay? Hey, Don, what's going on, brother? My homeboy. Yeah, yeah, they don't teach about it because not the real slave. They never really talked about it. Yeah, he claims he met Jesus in person and went back. Yeah, they all say that. You're hallucinating is what they're doing with the drugs and stuff like that. You ain't seen no damn Jesus because now of all the stuff that they found dinosaur bones from millions and millions of years ago, but they can't find not one damn plate from the Noah's Ark. Not one screw, not one piece of board. Okay. Same with Jesus and all those other people, man. Come on, guys, wake up. Give me that stuff. Oh man. He said when Roots was on. You know, see, Roots had you thinking that black people was walking around in three-piece suits, sleeping on mattresses and stuff. Read the autobiography of Frederick Douglass, okay? If you want to know if you want to just get an inkling of what it was, he said when he was growing up, he did not own a pair of clothes till he was 12 years old. And it was he had a choice. He was a cotton. It wasn't even a cotton. It was either shirt or pants. He couldn't have them both. He said it was. He don't know why he didn't freeze to death. And he may have one piece of corn a day. He slept on the ground. Okay. They sold what do you call it? They sold what's his name? The great inventor, George Washington Carver. They traded him for a damn horse when he was little. Because that's all we were. Yeah, seasoning. Yeah. But we're supposed to forget all of that. Yeah, they remind every year about the Holocaust, but you don't hear anybody talking about, oh, that was a long time ago. Forget about that, Jewish people. As if Jewish people have a monopoly on suffering and pain. They don't. But I respect the Holocaust and I respect their suffering. So respect mine. And you're going to act like it didn't do anything. That it doesn't make a difference. It does. Yeah, they're going to try to make light out of it. All of it. But see, when you escape all that foolishness that's over there, we're dumbed down over there. We're probably some of the dumbest people in the industrialized world. That's why we lag behind in education, passports. Less than 5% of Americans travel overseas every year. I'm talking about really overseas, not the Caribbean or the Caribbean, not Jamaica, not the Virgin Islands and all of them places, the DR. And I'm talking about to Africa, Europe, Asia. Less than 5%, man. Y'all listen to that foolishness over there. Yeah, that's right. And I believe it, I respect you for that, but don't try to push that on me because I'm not afraid today to say I don't believe that stuff. And if he did, he's got a lot of questions to answer for me if he does exist. Number one is why you sit around on that throne way, way up in the sky and watch them people suffer for all them damn years. Remember when the anybody that knows anything about the tsunami knows that most of those people who died were women and children. A lot of them were little babies. Okay. And he stood around and watched that and created that. Then he got a lot of questions to answer to me. So if you want to strike me down for using the damn brain that you gave me, then go ahead and do it. Of course, it's copied more than that. But I'm just saying, guys, don't be such cowards, man. Stand on your own damn 2 feet. That's something they put in your head years ago, just like Santa Claus and all that other stuff. So what makes you think this story's not plagiarized and fake too? Dinosaurs can't talk. Animals can't talk. Bugs Bunny and all that stuff, that's fake, man. It's the same way with this other stuff. How many times these people got to be exposed for you to realize it's not real? I remember growing up, man, they'd have these um, shows on TV, and they push these people up front in a wheelchair, and oh, I haven't walked there my whole life, and all of a sudden they walk. Well, why do religious people, when they get sick, why do they go to the hospital instead of the church? That's all I'm saying. Answer that question. Why do you go to the hospital, religious people, when you get sick instead of going to the church? That's where all the miracles is happening over there. Yeah, let's get back on track, man. I apologize, but this is why I left America, because that's all we want to talk about. Over here, I don't get a chance to talk about that stuff. I don't even want to talk about it. They have better things to do, like taking care of business, making sure there's enough food on the table, taking care of their families, you know. What do you mean what they saw? Of all the places he could have brought religion, why would you bring it way down there in the damn desert where the people were backwards and uneducated? He could have started in China and Africa over there. You're crazy. You know, but I don't care. Okay. Let me, if this is going to drive me to hell, then everybody's going to hell. Okay. Every damn body's going to hell. If what I'm saying is going to make me go to hell, we're all going to hell. I hate to tell y'all. He said, what are the yellow flags? Let's go back through them again. Number one is when you come to visit her, she doesn't go out of her way to accommodate you. Well, what do you mean? She doesn't reward your efforts. Guys, it takes a lot to come over here to visit a woman, okay? If she comes over, when you come over here, she's all lukewarm about it, wants to stay around the hotel, her family compound, and you know, that's a yellow flag. Yellow meaning proceed with caution. Doesn't mean throw her back. She's a bad person. It's not a red flag. It's not a green flag. It's a yellow flag. You got to look a little bit further. You got to vet a little bit harder, because it's a yellow flag because Filipinos are very hospitable. Okay, under normal circumstances, she's proud that you're here. She wants to take you everywhere, show you off to people. Okay. Number two, she acts like a stranger in her own country. She's overly shy and bashful. They're not like that amongst each other. Filipinos don't meet strangers, guys. Now, are they shy around us? Yeah. Around each other, no. Okay. Um, if she's afraid to ask directions, you know, where can I get my pedicure? You know, this is a yellow flag. It's going to tell you a lot about her. A lot of guys say, I don't want to live near the family, right? This is going to tell you to keep her around her family, because the worst thing you could do is take her away from her family. Now you're both going to be tourists in the Philippines. You don't want that. It's going to frustrate you to no end when you find yourself here. You got a Filipina next to you, and you're asking all the questions for directions. You're doing everything, but you got a woman here native to the country, and she doesn't help you. Yeah, you're going to get angry with that. Pouting and acting spoiled, wants to be treated like a baby. Okay. Filipinos are tough as nails. That's a yellow flag. You know, what are you hiding, lady, for real? Okay. They have to be tough to make it over here. It's as simple as that. Okay. It could be trouble if you're moving in together, or worse, you get married. You want to know all this stuff before you pull the trigger, because a lot of you guys are coming over here. You're pulling the trigger too fast. You're having children. You're getting married. Live-in partners. You don't even know the people. You don't know her background. You don't know who she was with before you. You don't know any of that. She just shows up in those short shorts and with the long hair and everything else, and you throw your common sense out the window. This stuff is important, even though you don't think it's important. It's very important. No expression or personality. You come over here, she's got that blank face. Filipinos love to laugh. They've got as authentic of a smile as you're ever going to see anywhere on the planet. Okay? If you don't see that, that's a yellow flag. You got to bring that out of her. Hey, what's going on? Are you sick? Are you on your period? What's going on? You know, where's that smile, that friendliness that y'all exhibit all the time? Okay? This is a yellow flag you have to look out for. She should light up when she sees you. Okay? Knowing what you went through to get over here to see her. Okay? She should light up. But if she doesn't light up, guys, that's a yellow flag. Yeah, hey, what's going on? And the last one that I've got, because there's a lot, is more, it's like, if she's not a freak in the bed, or she's not willing to learn new things in the bed, that's a yellow flag. You don't want to marry anybody like that. Okay? Because that's part of the unspoken agreement. I'm going to take care of you. You're going to take care of me, no matter what it is. Just be gentle. Don't hurt me. Take your time. Okay? But they're usually willing. If you come over here and she's not willing, that's a yellow flag. It's not a red flag. The red flag would be, oh, let's wait till we get married. See, that's a red flag. Okay? Um, Sam Safari says, marry a Filipino in Thailand so it comes to that you can divorce her. I'm married man in the U.S. I can walk anytime. Yeah. Well, who says you even got to get married? Okay? This is the thing. You know, it's not, oh, marry her here or marry her there. What about, do I have to get married in the first place? Who says you have to get married, Sam? And why y'all even putting that on the table? That should be way down the road, talking about marrying. A lot of these women can't get married anyway because they're already married. Or you're already married. See, but we jump over here. Look at my buddy Monroe. Good guy from Texas. Came over here, married a married woman. Because he didn't do all the checks and balances that he should have did. She gave him that Filipino tune-up, and he signed the papers. He ready to get married. Not realizing she's married already. They go through the whole rigmarole, the whole ceremony, the whole reception. Her first cousin saved his butt. She's married already. He done already put in the for the visa and everything, all for nothing. She's married already. Gerald Wilkinson, Calvin, the majority of Filipinos want to stay in the Philippines because of the comfort of what she knows of her surroundings, customs, culture. Those that leave, they go to other lands because. Well, see, that's a great question, and it's one that you have to talk to her about. See, this is the problem I have. Now, when I talk to my wife, I let it be known. Look, we're eventually coming here. First of all, she never wanted to go to America. Okay, that's the reason I chose her. I had a choice between two women. One was asking me every day, what's your plans for me? What's your plans for me? The other one was, oh, that's okay. I don't want to go to America. So I said, okay, because I knew eventually I was going to live over here. This is the one I chose. All right. Come to find out, she wants to go to America. And then once she goes to America, she wants to stay there. Because I really don't know. I can't tell you, but I know that you have to gauge their desperation to leave this place. Just like we have to gauge our desperation to leave home. We really don't know how bad they want to leave. Because some women go over there, men and women, they never come back here. Same with us. We never go back home. But she's going to follow you basically. If you come over and you say, look, I'm here, I'm retired here, I'm living here, that's probably the best plan for real. Even though she probably is able to adjust to America a whole lot easier than you can over here. But a happy Filipino is the best one you want. And when you take her way over there, it's just a risk you're taking. There's really no right or wrong, but that is a risk that you're taking, that she'll get over there and get homesick. Oh, okay, humble Blasian Love says, I'm here in Cebu with my boyfriend. He's a black American. He's watching you also your videos. But thank you. They go bananas. If that doesn't happen, guys, something's going on. You're way over here, right? You come way over here. Most of them are gonna light up like a Christmas tree when they see you. No matter what you want to do, they're willing to do it. And if that's not the case, it's a yellow flag, man. It's not a red flag. You know, the red flag is if you get over here to see her instead of her wanting to hang around with you at the hotel, the resort, or whatever. It's like she goes out with you and then wants to go home. She don't want to be with you at all. That's a red flag. After you come over here, or take me home at the end of the night or whatever. That's a red flag. Hey, thank you, humble Blasian Love. Says shout out to you, Sunshine Show. I'm watching. Thank you. Yeah, you don't need marriage, but that's what we want to do. They all marry here, marry there. Who says you have to get married? Okay, who says you have to get married? Yeah, yellow means caution. It doesn't mean stop. Right. It means to, look a little deeper. Oh, from the goodness of his heart. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's going to disappear. Um, yeah, he just fell in love. He's not the only one, Frank. A lot of us get taken. And when I say us, because I'm part of it, but I didn't get taken. We were together for 10 years. It was just, I didn't know how bad she wanted to leave this place. Okay. But I can't be two places at once. Robert says a yellow light for me is if she has a copy of the U.S. Constitution and she knows it by heart. She's got a plan and maybe you fit into it. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. That's a yellow flag. No, that's a red flag, Robert. Okay, when she's already had plans already when you get here. See, a red flag could be um, her doing everything with no hesitation for you. You'd be like, well, wow, we just met. You're doing everything. I mean, that could be a red flag because there is an ulterior motive. See, that unspoken agreement is only for the first few weeks you're here, really. And once you get to know each other, then it becomes a spoken agreement. You let her know what you expect. She's going to let you know. You really start finding out, hey, why did you go to the hotel with me that first night? She'll tell you, because I want to get married. I want a visa or whatever it is. I want to start a family. I want a new life. But that unspoken agreement's not forever. That's only till you get to know each other. Hey, Samuel Martin. He says, hey, Calvin, my name is Samuel Martin. I'm living here in San Juan. Been here for a month. I'm going to be here, and I want to know when is the next meet and greet. It's September the 28th. It's in San Carlos City, Mr. C Outdoor Cafeteria, our restaurant. And the reason I say outdoor because there's two Mr. C. One is a restaurant in town, and then the other one's in Center Mall. It's outside. He said, I was there in August and I saw those short shorts. Yeah, they do that. Yeah, he says, this is true, Hitman, because I say it over and over, guys. They're not looking at my content. Yeah, YouTube has a community standards, right? But they're looking at you. If you don't hit the like on my videos, the algorithm is going to take it that you don't like it. So they're not going to show my videos. And that's what's happening. You guys won't even take the time to hit the like button. If you're going to sit on here, 250 people are going to sit on here for 2 hours, there's something you like about this. Hit the damn like button. Help me out. I mean, that's how you support somebody. You just don't come on here and look and that's it. YouTube is watching you. They're not watching my content or anybody else's content. But if you don't hit the like, if you don't comment, if you don't watch the video for a certain amount of minutes, that's what they're watching. The click-through rate, the impressions, and all of that. They're watching you. They're not watching me. That's how you help your favorite YouTuber. He said, how did Monroe get taken? Because he didn't spend 200 pesos to get what's called a Cinemar. Cenomar. It's just a proof of singleness over here. Proof that you're not married. And we have to have the same thing now, guys, when we come over here. It used to be we could go to the United States Embassy or consulate and get our own type of cinema, but now you have to go to the barangay in her, go to her barangay where she gets hers. But it's just a proof of singleness that you are free to marry. He didn't do that. He just took her word. And then they went to some shady place and got married. She knew it was all a gimmick. He did. You know, instead of her just saying, you know, because she didn't want to lose the good thing that she had. Okay? Hey, thanks, Matthew Dean, for that super chat. He said, I hit the like. I appreciate it. And this is why a lot of Filipinas, they will get quiet on you, man. You're not going to know if she's happy or not. She's not going to tell you she's unhappy because she doesn't want to mess up the good thing she's got. So she'll be quiet, right? And that's what she did with him. It was her first cousin that saved him. He paid all that money, paid for the reception and all of that, got the process started for nothing. And he's a good guy, you know. And that's just the bottom line. We got to watch out. Lonnie Franklin said, hey, Cal, what's the best way to pay hospital bills there from the United States? What do you mean? Well, what I would do is, if you're talking about for a woman, it's not your responsibility to do that. But what I would do, since we're throwing all this money around over here, get her a field health plan. Send her to the public doctors over here, man. And public hospitals, man. These aren't rundown places. All my children, well, two of my one Booby was born in the public hospital. My other two sons were born in private hospitals. But it doesn't matter. Get that field health plan, because I'm gonna tell you something. Are you talking about why would you have if you got a hospital bill over here? I don't know how you got it, Lonnie, because over here, if you're in the hospital, you can't leave until you pay the bill. So I really don't understand what you're saying. But I would get my woman a field health plan. It's very, very inexpensive. And a lot of times, the woman you're dealing with is so poor that she'll have a free plan. She'll get free health care some kind of way over here. These are questions you have to ask. We never ask. Yeah. He said they're afraid it might benefit you. Sad, but it's true. Yeah, but this is how the algorithm works. They're not looking at my channel. Some guy says, oh, they got you on shadow ban. No, they don't. YouTube doesn't do that. A shadow ban is something I could do to somebody. It's not how the algorithm works. The algorithm is looking at the viewer. He's looking at you. Are you liking the video? Are you watching it? Are you engaging in the video? It doesn't look at my content and say whether it's good or bad. So if you look at a video and it has a lot of likes, the algorithm picks up on that. You know, so if you've got a good, if people are watching your video, if the impression rate is high, which my last video it is, but the likes aren't high, so it's not going to really help me. If if I had 1,000 likes, which is really what you want to get on a video, YouTube, the algorithm will push you out there. They say, oh, this must be a good video. It's got 1,000 likes, but you can have 5,000 views and 150 likes. That's all you're going to get. They're not going to put you in front of more people. That's how these channels get big. That's how they grow. YouTube is going back to that, the most popular video. So you're going to be careful. There's going to be a lot of clickbait out here. But clickbait can't get past that watch time. See, they can't get past that impressions where they're watching your videos all the way through, right? He says, is Monroe that brother that also visited the Campbell's vlog up in northern Luzon? Yeah, he did. And I think Dana, Fred, OG Fred did too. Yeah, and share it with everyone. If you like it. If you don't, but I'm saying there has to be something about my content. If I can hold the attention of 250, 300 people for 2 hours or 2.5, I could stay on here for 3 hours. There must be something about my content you like, I don't like. Even hit the don't like button if that's the case. Okay? But you can't just sit here and just watch it and think, oh, okay. You either like it or you don't. Gerald Wilkins, he says, you told the viewers many times, fall in love with the Philippines first. If you have a decent personality, you think and converse, you should be able to find what you're looking for. That's absolutely correct. But many of us were so desperate, man. We're so lonely. We're dry as a bone. It's been decades, Gerald, since a woman showed any attention to us, especially any interest in us, especially a young, attractive woman. So we lose our minds, man. Our common sense doesn't work. Our rational thinking doesn't work. So we start doing things we would never do at home. We start spending millions of dollars building houses and buying cars and just doing things that we have no business doing over here. She'll never appreciate that. Haven't somebody ever told you, that's why my mother said, be careful who you let drive your car, because they're never going to take care of it the way you did because you paid for it. It's the same thing over here. You buy a woman a house, she's not going to appreciate it, man, because she didn't buy it. She didn't work for it. She didn't pay for it. You think she is. Okay, the minute y'all split up, guess what? She's going to sell the damn house. She's not going to have a choice. How's she going to maintain it? She doesn't work. Okay? Or it's going to go down so bad, it's going to be worthless. All the money you spent for nothing. But a reasonable thinking, rational mind doesn't get through to y'all. You still do it. You think, oh, I'm helping the woman. You have no financial responsibility for her at all, but you buy a house and a lot. Why? Because she gives you a blowjob anytime you ask her. That's no reason to buy a woman a house. There's no reason to buy a woman a house who cannot maintain it when you're no longer around. But you do it anyway. If you're going to do it, at least let her earn it. Okay, we've been around for 5 years. I know who you are now. These guys are doing it at the drop of a hat, man. Well, I don't know, really. I don't know their situation, but if you think you can come over here and these women just want you for you, you got another thing coming. There's a reason they're with you. You got to ask them what the reason is. But it's not because you're handsome and intelligent. Okay, and I think that's what he found out. You know, After a while, women are going to get tired of changing your diaper and putting your clothes on. They're young. They want to get out here and enjoy life too. They'll tell you that, yeah, okay. But eventually that shit gets old, man. You know, but yeah, um, yeah. But that's what we do. That's exactly what we do. And it's a sad occurrence. They know that we're a game now. We're not. We're the best game in town right now. We're the best job that any woman could possibly have over here, and that's what they look at us as. But when you say that, men don't believe it. He says you can buy private health insurance over there for 50,000 pesos a year or less. Remember, but it's not your money that buys your insurance. It's your good health. So if you're thinking about doing it, do it now while you're healthy. I mean, everybody wants insurance when they need it. The best time to buy insurance is when you don't need it. You're going to get a better rate. You're going to get a better plan. Who wouldn't buy an insurance policy the day before they died? But you can't do that. There's laws that protect you and the insurance company from you doing that. It's called a contestability clause in your policy. Most of the time, it's 2 years. In the health insurance, they talk about pre-existing illnesses. But life insurance, it's a 2 year contestability period. That protects you and the insurance company. Okay? If you get the insurance and you know that you've got terminal cancer and you're going to die in 6 months, that protects the insurance company. But guess what? After you have the policy for 2 years and now all of a sudden you got terminal cancer, the insurance company can't cancel your policy unless you stop paying premium. See, so it helps you. So your good health is what buys your insurance. So do that now if you're going to do it. Otherwise, you know, be quiet. I mean, don't even talk about it. He says, I'll change mine. Yeah, well, everything's expensive over here. I did a video. Women are expensive over here. If you think they're not, they're heavy. After a while, her riding your back gets heavy. And this is why I say, make sure you got the right woman riding your damn back. But you're not going to know in 2 weeks. They get heavy, man, when you paying for everything. She wants a lollipop, you got to pay for it. Anything, a grain of rice, you got to pay for it. But, you signed up for that. So don't complain. But I'm just telling you that after a while, it gets old. Okay? So you better be with the woman that you absolutely want, that you're absolutely happy with. That shit gets old, man. You're paying for every damn thing, everything, every bill over and over and over and over and over throughout the years. Okay? So you better be happy. Okay? He said, remember on the way out, hit the like button. Yeah. But this is for something if you're not married or you don't have children. If you have some type of financial responsibility for the lady, then you have to do the right thing. Okay? If you're married, if you have children. But if you don't, I mean, what's the point? That's what I'm saying. I don't get that. That's money you're going to need. Why would you come over and spend all that money for a house? I don't care how noble you think you're being. You're being ignorant. You're being stupid. You don't have to do that because renting a place is helping her. People talk about breaking the cycle of poverty. You're not going to break no cycle of poverty. I'm sorry. You're not going to break it. Not like that. It's not going to happen because the minute you're off the scene, the house is getting sold. I've seen it over and over and over. There's a lady down in Zamboanga. She was married. I think the guy was Swedish. He died, left her a 10 million peso house. No telling 5, 6, 7 million in the bank. Okay. She gets with a young Filipino man. They run through all the money. She sells the 10 million peso house. Guess how much she sold it for? 1 million. And now she's back in the squatters area where she was to begin with. Oh, that's a lie, Cap. No, that happens more times than you can imagine. Remember the guy I told you gave Maryland's sister 1.3 million in cash? She doesn't have 2 pesos to rub together because they're not used to handling that kind of money. You're not helping them when you do that. You're really hindering them. Bring them along slowly like that. Now, if you're married, that's okay. I get it. Just like the Swedish guy. But once you go off the scene, they're not going to be able to maintain that stuff. How are you going to do it? Do you think Maryland can maintain that house? It'll be easier to maintain that million peso house and that guest house that we built than some 5 or 10 million peso house. Because guess what? She can rent out that guest house. She can sell that little piece of lot over in Toledo we bought, you know. But when y'all start giving these women all this money and building these big ass palaces and stuff for them over here thinking you're doing them a favor, yeah, as long as you're alive, she's going to enjoy it. But the minute you're off the scene or you die, she's going to sell that. Look what happened with John's car. He spent 700 and something thousand for that car. Put it in her name. He's doing her a favor. The minute he died, within a month, she sold that car for half of what he paid for it. She could not afford to keep it. That story goes on over and over and over and over here. But y'all don't listen. Lonnie said, Calvin, what I meant to say is, what's the best form of payment if you have to go to the hospital there? Well, there's only one form, really, cash over here, unless you've got a good policy that's accepted over here in the Philippines. See, Lonnie, I think you're back in the United States now. Now would be a good time to explore your options over here. Don't wait till you get over here. Do it there. You get all your questions answered because now you can understand the people and everything, right? Don't wait till you get over here. Okay, it's just so much easier. You may have a fax machine there, because, man, I tell you what, I've got field health, right? And people say, oh, it's a junk insurance, universal insurance. It's going to only help me in public hospitals, right? But I tried to get Pacific Cross. Guess what? Every time I fill out an application, oh, you missed this one. I mean, they did that like 5 times to the point where I just said, fuck it. I don't even want it. I'll keep my field health. But if I was at home, I could have easily gave that to them because they would say, oh, I can't read it. And, you left this out, you left that. I'm like, what? Because I can't, I'm dealing with Filipinos right now, they're misinterpreting what I'm saying. I'm misinterpreting what they're saying. Even though the middleman is Michael Onstad, he's an American still. Okay, it's just frustrating. Where I in America, I'd have that insurance right now because I could have easily got on the phone and said, hey, what's going on? What are you talking about? What do I need to do? Here, what's your fax number? I could have easily faxed that off. So do it now. Yeah, that's no big deal. Me and Merlin was talking about that yesterday. I don't see what the big deal is. That's something he told me that him and his wife had talked about when they first met. Okay, because a lot of women, they don't want to be by themselves. If I'm with an older man, they're thinking, Let's have a baby. So if you do die, I have somebody left here to remind me of you, who's going to love me unconditionally. I won't be by myself. Okay. You know, we always talking about this moral stuff. What difference does it make if he's 30 if he doesn't take care of the baby, Frank? If he runs off, does that make it better that he's 36 instead of 66? But here he is 66. He's going to be able to provide for his wife and their child. I don't see a problem with it. I grew up without my father. I mean, yeah, I had a stepfather. Yeah, I don't see a problem with what he did, uh, because he's going to take care of his wife and his kid. It doesn't matter how old you are. It goes to tell you that a lot of us, we're hypocrites. We've got kids, um, but we come over here and say we don't want a woman with kids. We're creating single mothers over there, but we come over here and we say we don't want a single mother. You know, every soul attracts its own, though. You know, Frank Tate said even if you are married, it takes time to teach them how to manage a lot of money. Absolutely, absolutely. But we don't listen, Frank. We put all that money in their hands, okay? Because we're trying to appease them. We're trying to. It makes me mad when men do that. I see them doing it over here. But you can't tell them nothing. They're grown men. You know, they got all these degrees and they were so successful over there, and they come over here and they act like damn fools. You can't get through to them. Like, man, you can't do that. You're not in America. You may know more about life and everything over there, but when you come over here, you're like a baby. You need to start listening to somebody, taking some advice from somebody who knows over here. You putting all that money and all that stuff in these women's hands, you're not helping them. You're hindering them for real. Because once you're not around, they're not going to be able to take care of this stuff, man. You know, until my 3 credit cards, see, you know, some crazy stuff's going on overseas. My mail goes to my daughter's house. See, I was paying by credit card, but once your credit card expires, I wasn't going to spend 1,500 to go home and get my credit card. But that's how I was doing, because that's the only way I was really getting the exchange rate. What is it today? 56.79. It's the only way you're going to get it, really, because I've got Capital One. They don't charge me any type of fees or anything. When I go to the grocery store or wherever, I'm getting 56.79. Okay, and I can manage it. But any of the other ways, when I'm drawing money, it's costing me. Even when I send money from my Fifth Third account to my account over here, I'm paying for that. I'm not getting 56 something. Yeah, I've heard of Manulife, but you have to understand, when you're dealing with insurance over here, there's so many different types of insurance, and you need to read your policy. Excuse me, because a lot of what you think you got are these um, indemnity policies, are hospital. They're only going to pay you a certain amount for every day you're in the hospital. They're not really paying for your treatment. Yeah, I've heard of Manulife. But if you're a woman, I mean, if you're dealing with a woman over here, um, you just get her to feel help. She can't be choosy about that. She has nothing. If my woman said, if I said, hey, here, I'm going to get you feel help, and she said, no, I want Pacific Cross, I'm out the door. What's wrong with you? You don't have nothing. Here, take this feel help. It's going to help you. When Booby was born, it only cost me $16,000. Now, when my son was born, my first son, it only cost us $17,000. We had a private doctor, but that's 2010. That was, the doctor had her own, um, you know, She had her office, and then behind her office, she had her own birthing room. She had like 3 rooms. So that was all part of it. Velasquez was her name. Great doctor in Cebu. She knew Manny Pacquiao and all of them, went back and forth. I haven't, but I'm going to start drinking my water. Well, I started drinking my water since I've gotten off the road. When I was on that road, I wasn't drinking water. But yeah, guys, I got to get off here. Thank y'all so much for y'all's time today. Thank you so much for your super chats, your super stickers, your thumbs up, all your support for Sunshine Shows. I never take that for granted. Please, if you in the area of St. Carlos City, September the 28th, that's Thursday, stop by Mr. C Outdoor Restaurant, 4 p.m. for the meet and greet. It's going to be some great people there. The food is good, guys. Really, it is. I'm not going to say it is. That's one of the reasons now that I picked the places to have the meet and greet. It has to have good food. It's in a good shady area, okay? Right there in a park. It's really nice setup. Stop on through there. Everybody's invited. But take care, everybody. Stay safe. We're packing up, cleaning up. This is officially our last day. I'm going to go out and sit by the beach all day today and just let my feet soak in uh, the water and walk along the sand. But sports, politics, and religion, guys, we got to get rid of that. It makes enemies out of friends, guys. We just got to find something else to talk about. I respect your beliefs, respect mine, but don't tell me who to root for, who to vote for, and who to pray to. Take care.